Hey, everyone. It's been a long time since I've been live. This is the first time I'm actually going live in 2025. And, you know, I'm excited to meet some of the new people. I heard the new faces I've never seen before, and for people to actually catch me on a live show. So, thank you guys for joining us. I always like to start off my lives as telling me, let me know who's out there, who's in the audience. I want to hear from you. I want to find out who you are, what you do, what city and state you're in. And like I said, we're excited to be back on. Talking about, tell me what you do. Tell me how you guys are feeling out there. I know that we've made a couple of videos. We've posted a bunch of content about what's happening in administration. I've been talking to several contracting folks. In fact, I talked to a small business professional from the not Army Contract, Army Futures Command today. I've talked to NAVFAC. I've talked to ERC, NRC. So I've been talking to people in the industry and getting a scoop on what they feel and what they're seeing out there. So it's funny for it's exclusive coffee. Hey, I've been working on my stuff, Rich. Really, so I've been putting on the work behind the scenes. So again, um, we're changing up things and we're changing with the times. So definitely excited to come on, talk to folks, and start reconnecting with people and see what's going on there. Let's feel the landscape, right? Let's see what the landscape's like. What's going on, Tony? I see you in the building. Um, you know, Success World from New Jersey. What's up, Success World? Doing great. I'll actually be up in the New York area May the 10th. I'll be speaking at an event up there May the 10th up in Brooklyn Naval Yard. So I'll be around your hood a couple months. I'll be in DC at the Tribal Edge Summit. I'll be there in April. So I do. Again, one of the things I want to do, Tony. I see you're on here, so why don't you, Tony, right below me over here, Tony, govcon.com/401. Let's jump on. I do want to talk to some folks live today. That is the purpose. What's going on, Colin? What's up, LeBron James, Baltimore? What's up? Who's in here? Who's here? Tell me. I see a couple people in the chat. So tell me who you are. I want to know what you do, the city you're in, right? I want to know your name if your name's not on the screen. By the way, I'm looking for some people to come up and talk. So what's up, Bill Cobb? What's up, April? So again, let me know who you guys. I want to know who you are, what industry you're in, and what city you're in today. GovCape, still trying to get into it. Learn a lot from a few fumbles, trying to get my hands. Enhanced control tech docs, more sense info, but hopefully it's worth it. So who wants to come up, right, and come up to the stage, and let's talk today about, tell me what you do, and let's talk about what's happening now. I can tell you I was on a call just past Friday. Yep, Brooklyn Navy Yard. I'll be there May the 10th at an event called, I think it's called Buy Back the Block. Hold on. I'll be at this event May the 10th called, I'll tell you right now, you can look it up. Flipping the Hood. So I'll be speaking at Flipping the Hood, Brooklyn Navy Yard, May the 10th. I'll be on a panel. I will be at the Tribal Edge Summit in DC, April 24th to 25th, 26th. Don't worry, Colin, I'll let you know. We're going to do something again at the rooftop. So all my DC folks, I'll be there. And then we're going to be in Atlanta. We're shooting for the end of April, probably be the first week of May. So we'll be hopping around. But Gloria says I was trying to. So listen, right below me, govcon.com/411. Okay, you see that? That's the link right here. Right there. That link, if you type it in, you could come up on stage and we could talk. So we're looking for some people to come up on stage and talk so we can have some real life conversations with folks. Yeah, I'll pull up some of my calendar dates where I'm going to be at. In fact, Colin, I should have already put this in. It should have been in Federal Help Center, but I didn't do that. So I'll make sure to do that now. So I'm going to be at an event, DC. But yeah, come up. Listen, come up here. Let's talk. It's 2025. Don't be afraid. Tony says the link's not working. Hold on, Tony. Tony says it's not working. Hold on, Tony. You might be right. I had to switch a couple of. I had to switch Tony a couple of times to get this headset and this camera working. So give me a second, Tony. Tony's checking. Tony told me the link's not working. Let me fix it. Give me a second. Let me fix the link. Tony says it's not working. Nah. That's the link. Govcon 401. That link's working. It's working. All right. There you go. It's working. Bet. All right. Which event? We'll wrap about the different events. Hold on real quick. I'll just show you guys. So I'll be at this event, Tribal Edge Summit in DC. I'll be there. Now I'll be there. It's the 24th, 25th, 06. I'm going to also go. We're going to be hanging out in DC probably 2 days before and 2 days after. So we'll have our own private event. And the area, right? I don't know the name of that area, but we'll have our own private event, rooftop. I'm not sure. Probably maybe a day before, or a day after this event. So one thing I will say, if you can't make it to this, that's fine. But if you make sure that you're in Federal Help Center, and I'm going to message everyone in Federal Help Center who's already there and let them know about the DC event. So our own private event. Come on, Ralph. You know you invited, baby. My man, Ralph. What's up, brother? So I will let you know about the DC event that we're going to be doing privately. If you're in Federal Help Center and you're in the area, we're going to put it inside the chat. All right. So, all right. Let me bring my man Tony up real quick. And let's see. All right. Hold on one second. Let me get my man Tony. Tony, what's up, baby?
Cafecito, what's up, man?
Hey, brother. I'm doing well. I'm doing well. I decided to come on live. It's been a long time.
I know, yeah. You've been busy, man. You've been busy.
Hey, I got a lot of stuff cooking, man. I got a lot of stuff cooking. So, Gloria says the link isn't working for her. What happened to you, Tony, with the link?
I think I took out the www and just put in.
I think
okay. That's what I did. That
Tony said what the issue is. He said he took out the.
I think that's what I did, or maybe you fixed it when I said something.
Gloria, try it without the www. I don't know how to change it now on my screen. Hey, somebody said, I remember Tony, he's a tire guy.
Bro, you don't know my journey. I guess we get into it tonight.
Nah, listen. Yes, Tony's a tire. Gloria, try typing it out without the www. Just put in govconeric.com/411. See if that works for you.
Yeah, I just deleted that. It worked. How's everybody doing? What's everybody working on?
Yeah, that's what I'm here. Listen. That's what we came on to find out. What is everybody working on? So it's interesting, Tony. We're obviously we're still working on the lending side for everybody. We just had a big meeting about that last week. Putting that together. It's a good, productive meeting. But also, there's been a lot of other people, Tony. When I was in the boot camp, I mentioned to folks that there are companies out here that have closing down. It's funny because just when was it, this week or last week? So one of the things that Brandon is doing is working on assessment calls. So people that want an assessment call with us, we're doing these assessment calls to figure out where they're struggling in their business and how we can help them, right? And so on one of the assessment calls, this consultant reaches out to this lady who's a construction contractor, right? And he says, okay, hey, I called this lady who's a construction contractor, and she says that none of her kids want to take the business over, so she's going to close the business after her last few contracts.
No.
Tony,
Did you?
Tony,
There it is. Did you see my
this
email
is
too?
come on, man. I haven't read it, but this is what we've been telling people.
Oh man,
Is like there's a person out there that has construction contracts for the federal government that because her kids don't want to take over the business, she has no one that's offered to buy it. She's gonna just close it down and
it's like
walk
75%
away.
of small businesses do that. Like that happens.
So we keep talking about this. The opportunities exist is when you start talking to people, reaching out and calling folks about working with them, partnering, teaming, you will learn that some of these people, there is no succession plan. There's no exit plan. And literally, I told Brandon to get that person back on the line, figure out who this lady is, because we want to offer some money because she's got past performance. Right now, she has contracts with the government that she's finishing it up. Literally.
Oh, man,
like right now. She's like, yeah, I'm just going to finish these contracts and close down the business.
That's a golden ticket. Oh, my goodness, man. That's
so Tony, what we've been talking about, you and I, obviously, is, right, the opportunities exist. And I think everyone now, if you don't know, you've probably heard about this $1 trillion wealth transfer, right? I think everyone knows that. And so the $1 trillion wealth transfer is all the baby boomers that have all the wealth, right? They're retiring. They're going to pass this wealth to the next generations. So I think the problem that I see with a lot of us is that we're so worried about everybody else, private equity and all these other people, and what's happening with the administration, all this stuff. It's like, wait, there's stuff right here in front of your face that you're not taking advantage of.
Yeah.
And so, Tony, I know you've seen it. The same situation you're in. The Contavis are in. Yvette's in. Did Yvette reach out to you about hers?
Yeah, I talked to her. I'm like, Yvette, let me know. I'm like, you need to negotiate. And I'm like, don't wait.
Wait, not just you. We have another student, Chris Martin, is in the same situation. He won a contract with DLA. The person or the company that provides the goods no longer make the goods anymore. But he won the contract for that good item with this vendor. And so he goes, Eric, when I heard you talking about that, he was like, oh, wait, I can go get it re-engineered and make it smart. I'm like, yes.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's just, there's a lot of, do you guys know that there's actually a red tape hotline now?
Okay, tell us, Tony, about red tape hotline.
So this just started maybe a couple weeks ago, a month ago. Okay. If you go on SBA.gov, I think you can search in Google red tape hotline. There's actually a hotline that you can call and email if you have issues with red tape that are like keeping your business, your small business from succeeding. You can call them, submit, everything that's going on, submit the solutions, and they'll look into it.
Boom.
There it is. I was like, I called it, and somebody picked up the phone. I'm like, I had a 20-minute conversation with somebody.
And this is great, Tony, because again, and you know me, I've always been a glass half full kind of guy, and everyone's so negative about what's happening with the administration, all the bad stuff that they see on TV, but really there are things that are being put in place to help us, to support us. And in fact, and I've heard from one of my friends at the Navy that now the new term is American business. Which, Tony, that's fine. We American businesses.
Yeah, it ain't bothering me. I mean,
that's okay with me. I'm American business.
Hey, I'm dialed in, man. All this stuff is helping me.
Yeah. So Tony, so on this red hotline thing, tell us about this red tape hotline.
So, I mean, it's basically well, I can give you my examples because I'm in tires, and but it's basically I mostly work with the DLA, and I work with Land and Maritime mostly, and tires have to get tested, and some of the tests cost like $800,000. Takes like a year and a half to 2 years to get a tire approved. So that's part of the red tape. And some of these tires are listed as commercial, but they require all these tests. So, that's kind of That's defeats the purpose of commercial. So that's the type of thing that you go to them and say, listen, I have another tire from another supplier. It's still made in America, but I got to go through all this red tape, and it's the same form, fit, and function. So, that's, you kind of have to give them the whole spiel, how it's hurting you, give them numbers and all that. But we've never had a red tape hotline ever before. So stuff like that, you bring it to their attention, and then they look into it.
Wow. Okay. So red tape hotline, I can tell you, and I know Tony has been dealing with challenges of working with some of the government folks and not responsive. And I remember this, Tony, you said to me, you're like, man, maybe because of all these layoffs that people are now picking your phone calls, they're responding to you. How's that been working out?
Well, I told you before, so I went 10 months without a contract.
Yep.
So last year, I delivered my last contract was an extension in September, but I didn't win a contract from April 2024.
Yep.
So, I was dialed in. Once I lost that one big contract, I was like, I got to do this a little different. Mm-hmm. So, I was following my sources, saw it every day, staying the course. I mean, all right, so it's 2025. I'm already 3 contracts in. I won 3 contracts. 2 of them are blank purchase agreements, which I never won before.
Yep.
And then I got a 1 tire contract. Now, the funny thing is the 2 blank purchase agreements are for parts, electrical parts, and some other ones are vehicle parts and trailer parts. Mm-hmm. No BPAs for tires yet, but it just shows you just got to follow the process. It's not easy. If you think you're going to do this overnight, you're in the wrong business, but you stay the course, it's going to happen. So now I got 2 BPAs for the next 5 years.
Wow.
After 10 months of having, nada.
Yeah. What's interesting is we have another student that just won a BPA for fuel delivery that she's executing on. So
that's huge. Now that's going to be going to GSA.
Well, let's see what happens.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens. Rich really says his creator has submitted over 150 RFQs and I lost 80 so far. Rich, why don't you come up to stage so we could talk?
Yeah, it's not about quantity. It's about quality. It's definitely, it's not a numbers game. That's because you're wasting your time. That's why I went 10 months without winning a contract, because I've been following these sources sought from these BPAs that I won since last year.
Yep.
So I followed the process, and then it kind of gives you a better chance of winning. Don't just bid on everything.
Yeah, I think what happens is, Rich, and a lot of people have taken your approach before. I'm going to show you something. I'm going to pull up on a screen that I think would be helpful for you. One of the things for us is and Rich, maybe you've seen this before, but just for those of you who've never seen this before, I personally, we subscribe to, and I'll just pull it up. So one of the things that and this is important, because this is why I want people to come up here and understand this, is because when you do what Rich says, right? I see you, Gloria, back there. All right. When you do this, so this is something that, we like to use called the bid no bid framework. And this is something that, again, I know when you're small, right, it's hard for you to well, Eric, I just want to go after everything. But this is important because, right, what happens is we're not counting the amount of time that we're spending on all this other work. So what happens essentially is you only factor in okay, I won a contract, I made $5,000. But if you spent 3 months bidding, you didn't make anything, because you're not counting all that time you're wasted. So I want people to understand that, because for me, we have some of our students that said, hey, Eric, listen, I would rather do 10 contracts and make 200,000 profit, right, as opposed to 150 contracts and make 50,000 profit. So I say that because when you start to understand, and I have not found anyone that says it yet, when you start to understand, like you said, your ability to respond, you have experience or technical capabilities, you understand the pricing of the customers, you have knowledge, rapport, or relationships. Like I said, the customer knows us, they prefer us. Any type of insight tracker and market intelligence. When you have these advantages, now it's a very much more efficient way of spending your time and resources dedicated to activities that are going to lead to results. I can tell you right now, we are still, and this is funny, we're still getting calls for sole source contracts because they're already working with us. They've been working with us, Tony, and so they're just extending our contracts because they don't have given direction on what to do now moving forward with the new laws and rules. So people that are already in there, we just keep getting more work.
Yeah. It's, I mean, that's why you gotta stay in your field. You gotta stay in your lane, and it's finally starting to happen to me because I've been following some stuff with wheels and wheel assemblies, and there were some changes, there were some sources saw it, and I was going back and forth with the contracting officer about, hey, you could probably put this in there, and then the solicitation came out and the stuff was in there.
Right.
So,
right.
It's finally starting to gain traction, and that's why it's so important to pick a field and stay in it. Because I kind of use the analogy, it's kind of like being in a car and you're stuck in the mud. Mostly everybody's been stuck in snow or in the mud, and you hit the gas, you're not moving anywhere. Well, if you switch industries, it's like getting out of that car and going in the next car and trying to get that car out of the mud.
Right.
And then you go a little bit and then you get out, as opposed to maybe you got to dig out the wheels a little bit. Maybe you got to stick some wood under there.
Right.
Maybe you got to rock it a little bit, and you'll feel when you start getting traction, you'll feel it. But you just got to stay in that car.
I love it.
And that's that's kind of the approach I've been taking. So it's finally starting to get a little traction.
I love it. I want to change my name on here. I don't know how to do it, Tony. But hold on, Tony, 1 second. So listen, real quick. Wilmer, Software Labs. Been following for 7 years now. We'll be talking soon. Yes, I heard about you, Wilmer. Brandon told me about you guys, and look forward to checking in with you. Hold on, Tony. Let me see if Gloria's up here. I see her on the stage. She went away. All right. So listen, again, the link, Tony, you type in govconeric.com/411. Don't do the www. I see you, Gloria, in the back, but it's not allowing me to bring you up to the stage. It says your mic.
Should I get out? Should I leave? And maybe it's only one person at a time?
No, it actually says it allows up to 10 people.
Oh, okay.
She's trying to get her camera set up, and her audio and camera's not set up. So Tony, thank you for that. What else are you working on? But by the way, Tony, you didn't mention the stuff we were talking about in terms of the opportunities that exist that for people that are not wanting to, or companies that are not responding or making these products in parts. We skipped past that.
I mean, there's such, it's like overwhelming. There's so many opportunities. I don't even know where to start to tell people. I mean, I told you before, if I know now what if I back then, I would have just bought a manufacturing company. But there's so many parts out there. Like, I'm gonna give you guys a plug. There's actually a sources sought right now for 3D manufacturing on SAM.gov. 3D manufacturing. So if you go on SAM.gov, you find it. Yep. You go to some of these 3D printing farms, and you can be their consultant. You can do the SAM.gov work, and they can do the work as far as printing. There's so many options. The most important thing, and I can't stress this enough, you just have to pick a field and stay in it.
Right. I love it.
That's it.
All right, hold on, Gloria. Before we get to you, I just want to make sure I want you to know I see you. All right, I see you. Hold on 1 second. So real quick, I want to show everybody this. I think this is, like I said, what Tony and I were talking about in terms of. I'm going to show you guys. My man Chieftain, what's up, baby? Chief said, "Eat money bags," because hey, I want y'all to see this. If you don't know this, if you haven't heard, just type in wealth transfer. You will see it. It's everywhere. $90 trillion great wealth transfers happening. Okay. 1 in 4 Americans expect to leave an inheritance. All right. So what's happening? All the baby boomers. Okay. All the baby boomers are about to hand over all of their money, their wealth, their resources. You can just look it up, right? Just look it up. Just type in great wealth transfer, $1 trillion wealth transfer. Just type it in Google and you'll see what's about to happen. And essentially, right, all of us that are on here have an opportunity to participate in this. Okay. So all of us. So there's no reason, there's no excuse out here for any one of us not to be a part of this. If you missed out on Bitcoin, you missed out on Microsoft split it, you missed out on Nvidia. I get it, that's all right. But here's your chance. You missed out on the real estate, going through the roof. That's cool. There's another opportunity happening in front of us. And I can tell you that something I said recently to our boot camp members was that I see so many, and they say this, the baby boomers do not have, many of them, a succession plan. They don't have anybody. People who have businesses that are successful, their kids don't want to take over the business. They don't want it. None of my rich friends' kids help them with their business. None of them. Zero. Okay? Because they're only interested in the money. So there's been, Tony, you know how many times that I've consulted with people and they ask me if I want to take over their business? Like, people want to give it to you because they have no one to give it to. I have a lady that I met at a conference 2 years ago, and her boss sold her the business. Check this out. Sold it to her, but she didn't actually give them any money. He sold it to her on paper, and she worked off the debt with her job. It's like rent to own, people. So she didn't actually give any money.
Seller financing.
Right.
Yeah.
So he financed it. So this lady has a $20 million HVAC company that she was started as a secretary sitting behind the desk. Now she's the owner and the boss.
I'm waiting for that opportunity to fall on my lap.
So, well, it's happening. I just mentioned you 4 people that are facing the same thing you're facing, Tony, with contracts that they're winning for projects for the government, and the preferred vendor or manufacturers are no longer doing or making that stuff. Okay. So, and for all of you who don't understand what we're talking about, when we start looking in, and I could keep going. I want to get to Gloria first, and then I'll come back to this. But I just want everybody to understand, that for me, I personally, and this is, I just spoke today at an event, and at the event I spoke to today, right? I said that the reason why I'm always bullish on this, Tony, is because they said you are the average of the 5 people you spend time with. And Tony, just like a lot of people know, who are my friends. You know them. Y'all seen them. You see them at my events. You see me hanging out with them. So when your friends do 90 million, 150 million, $200 million a year, how can I not be bullish on government contracts?
Hell yeah. Oh man. I put, like, there was $11 million contract. One of my, what do we call them? Competimates won. It's in my office. Yeah. Right on the wall. And I put $11 million. I'm next.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That's what you're supposed to do.
Absolutely.
So,
Gloria,
all right.
You're muted too.
Gloria, so I have muted. Gloria, you're up.
Yeah, you're muted.
Hold on. Wait, I muted her originally. Let me see if I can unmute her. Okay. All right. I unmuted you, Gloria. Oh, wait. Hold on. Stay right there. All right. You're unmuted.
Okay. Hi. Hi. How are you?
How are you? Where are you from?
Baltimore.
Baltimore. Okay. Nice.
So I'm near DC. So I was looking at your event that you have coming up.
Yeah. So it's not my event. I'm just attending.
Okay. The event that you're attending.
Yes. I'm just attending, just so everybody knows. But I will be in that area. So definitely, we will be doing an event, but I'm just saying I'll be there for the purpose of that. So we'll be doing
Okay.
another event that we get together and talk, and we usually get like 20 or 30 people together. My buddy's got a nice place somewhere. I don't even know where it's at. Colin knows, but he's got a nice rooftop. We go there and we'll just talk and a bunch of people in the industry.
It's funny that actually what you both are saying at the same time is resonating with what I'm going through and went through.
Okay.
So Tony said, stick with it, right? Don't switch lanes, basically.
Yep.
And then you're saying about the opportunity that the lady had with the secretary. You just said she was the secretary. And then, so kind of both things happened to me. So I have an interpreting company.
Okay.
I was a subcontractor to a big prime. Now this prime was multi-million. I was still starting out. I had small contracts throughout. But
Tony, I'm gonna put you down real quick, brother. Hold on, one second. All right, go ahead, Gloria.
I was starting out, so I started off as a sub. I started subcontracting through this prime. Now I had several small contracts, and then this prime came about, and then he started just giving me a whole bunch of work. So it got to the point where I didn't need the other small contracts, so I kind of just let him go, right?
Oh.
That was yeah. Look, as soon as I said it, you knew.
Oh no! You know, I've been around the block with a lot of people that are 20 years my senior, and they've taught me about.
Where were you? Yeah, where were you? And you should have just,
I know.
I found you now though, so you can tell me now before I do something else crazy.
Go ahead, keep going. Okay.
So everything was going good. I grew, and we now have 100 interpreters throughout, over 100 languages. We were good, and the prime was priming. Everything was good, and then he unexpectedly had a heart attack and passed. And it happened at the worst time because some other life stuff was happening, and it was just like the wrong timing. So,
for you,
yes,
I mean,
for me.
yeah, right.
But I pivoted, and I was like, you know what? How did he get his business so big, and why am I still small?
Right.
So then I started looking at what he did, and it was government contracting. So he had all of these government contracts. That's how he grew his business so big.
Right.
But before then, I was like, well, instead of me starting over, why not just buy his business?
Bam, Gloria.
Right?
Come on, Gloria.
Hello.
Now you're talking. Now you
right. So I'm like,
go.
okay, well, I contacted it was like a big company, so I had to go through like a lot of people, a lot of things, and I was almost there until
what happened?
So the business was going to his kids, but his kids were minors still. So it went to his ex-wife, and his ex.
That's it. I can. Hey, listen. You know, that's it. You don't have to finish the story.
That's it. Long story short, I didn't get it.
Listen, when it goes to the ex-wife,
that was it. She was like, "Nah, click." That was it. That was it.
Yeah, it's like, who you want it?
What? Yeah, no, like, excuse me.
Not you. You should see. You're supposed to put a man now in that position. Okay.
You know, where were you, Eric?
That's what you're supposed to put. You're supposed to put me in there. I would have got the ex-wife. She would have sold it to me. But she saw you as a threat. You already knew she saw you as a threat.
So now I'm here. so now I'm here.
But Gloria, hold on, wait a second. So this is great. By the way,
this is great.
I want to say something because literally one of the companies that we consult for, a roofing company, the same exact thing happened to him about a month ago. We were subbing to a big prime, right? Now, the big prime had like national contracts. And so he had even though they didn't do roofing, they had a national roofing contract, kind of like what Tony said, like a national BPA. So we were subbing underneath them. Well, he wanted his business to be certified as a woman-owned business. So he made this woman the 51% owner. He was the 49% owner.
Oh.
And then he died.
Wait. Oh.
He died.
Oh no. So now what?
So then my guy didn't think the way I thought. He was like, oh man, Eric, the guy died and it's terrible because we're doing all this stuff together. And I'm like, wait, no. Let's talk about buying the business. Let's so I say this because everybody on here, the more that you're in this space, you're going to see and experience the things that we're talking about.
Yes.
And you may not recognize them when they come to you unless we point it out like in this manner. Okay. So this is why we're here, because I didn't even tell y'all that story. She just told me the story, but it just happened as literally one of our clients. They had this multi-year, multi-state roofing contract that we were subbing to, and then he passed. And so this is what's happening. You guys don't realize the age of the people in Congress. That's the same age of the people that own these businesses. They're the same age.
I mean, it's true. Yeah.
They're the same age. So, all right, Gloria. So now the ex-wife don't know how to run the business. So don't worry about that.
But she didn't want to sell it.
Of course. She's going to let it run to the ground.
Yeah. She just disposed of it. Literally disposed of it. It was like nothing. I told her that. Yeah.
But
I tried to talk to her. She was like, no.
Gloria, what we got? Listen, Gloria.
Help. Help. Well, you missed it those first 2 times. I'm here now. Help.
I know. Help. Listen, I know. Listen, I know. And by the way, it's so funny because you heard what I hear these stories literally every week.
Time out. And then, but wait, there's more.
I'm listening.
Well, you know this too. Everyone knows this. Look, now I have an interpreting company. Look what's happening with the government.
What?
What mean?
What part of it? I mean, there's a lot of stuff going with the government.
I mean, yeah, okay. Well, interpreting, it's affecting the interpreting business because of the immigration, because of, assigning English as a primary language.
Yep.
It's like, now it's like, I don't know if it's like the right time to come in. I don't want to shy away from it because I'm not scared of something.
So
but
I'm gonna say this, okay? What's interesting about this is I remember doing an Instagram live with someone about 4 or 5 years ago, and he said he wanted to get into like catering food, right? And so I don't know about catering no food. I ain't never cooked no food. So I'm like, catering food? He goes, yeah. He goes, one of my cousins works for a agency. Go ahead, Gloria. I'll bring Tony back up. Why? So Tony, I'll put her down for now. You heard that, Tony?
I'm listening, man.
Bro, are you hearing this stuff?
I'm just waiting for that opportunity so I can buy one, man. I'm just waiting, man.
Look,
it's like, hey.
Hey, yes, Marlon, I certainly would have sweet talked ex-wife. I mean, come on.
Yeah, there's why would the ex-wife? Yeah, you got to pitch that the right way.
Because the ex-wife,
you got to go.
She's an ex-wife.
Say, listen, ex-wife.
Remember,
I'm going to pay you.
You know that women are emotional. So think about it. She
Yeah.
literally said, "Forget money.
Yeah,
just crash and burn it." That is emotions.
Yeah,
that is not mental. That's nothing. There's nothing. And she probably has is very smart, intellectual person, but she was just so upset and angry. Was like, just let it burn. So that's crazy. But by the way, for anyone who's listening, 44 people listening right now, right here, govconeric.com/411. Don't put in the www and then come up here. We want to chat with you and figure out how can we help. So, but yeah, no, what's interesting, going back to Tony, the point we're making, right, is that just happened to one of my clients, the guy died. That happened to her. I have 4 people in our groups that literally have gotten calls from government about orders that they cannot find the manufacturer or the supplier for. If you guys do not see the epidemic or the opportunity merging here, you guys are ciego. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah. Plus that red tape hotline too. It's saying, okay, if there's a problem, and there's red tape that's the issue, you got a hotline to call and say, hey, I need help.
Right.
I mean, I'm just waiting for the government to start calling me and say, hey, Tony, we need some of these run flats, or we need some wheel assemblies, or we need some parts. So
Right. Yeah. So no, this is interesting. And for me, like I said, so what's happening is, Tony, I want to take this question someone asked. So it says the GSA executive order affect companies trying to do middleman strategy. So for me, what's interesting about this is that one of the things that I keep telling people, and this is what people keep failing to realize, all right? An executive order is not the law. Can you guys just please understand? There's a lot of things that happen in place to overturn laws, right? And so just because someone writes an executive order doesn't make it the law. Now, right now, I can tell you that.
Oh, wait. Eric, hold on. Say this part is also true, just so people know. Executive orders don't trump laws either. Like, they don't overrule laws, right?
Correct.
Okay. I just want to make
sure. So I say that because just because I don't know if you guys have seen this already. I've seen it, and we can pull it up. Several of the executive orders that took place, okay, where they laid off certain people from certain agencies, they had to rehire those people back to those agencies because they couldn't do it. So I know that this is we're not here for social studies class, but just people, do me a favor. Do not, just because someone says, hey, this is an executive order for this, does not make it the law. So you still have to operate as if, until the law changes, right, you still operate as normal. So the real for me, okay, what I would refer to personally is going back and looking at this. Right now, here, let me share my screen. Okay. For those of you guys who've never seen this before, all right, this is something that we put inside a Federal Help Center, which is, if you look at DIBS, which is DLA, it's a huge slice of the pie for government contracting as a whole. There's literally 3,000 to 5,000 solicitations every single day on DIBS. So I don't know, right, that how they can now all of a sudden stop putting out 3 to 5 solicitations a day overnight. So I say that because it takes a lot of, it's like a train that even if they were to put in a law to stop that train from moving, they'd have to wind it down gradually over an extended period of time. And that could be a year, that could be 2 years. It just doesn't come to a halt. So I just want to say that because I know that many of us were not taught, right, about how these things work. And so we are reacting to everything, and instead of continuing the course, staying, right, like, again, if you are, I just told you, we have people right now that are winning 3 to 5 contracts every single day on DLA, 3 million in backlog every single month, right now, today, every day. So what executive order are you talking about? I say that because you're not, the problem that I find with people is you don't have enough friends in the space that you can talk to that are actually doing this, so that you can throw away disinformation and continue on the path. So I say everyone needs to stay the course until you're told otherwise. Forget about what someone says on TV. When the contracts and the bids stop coming out, then you could say, Eric, what do I do now? Does that make sense? Like, when they stop soliciting products on other platforms and they say, we have now, required to go to GSA, that's when you decide how to handle this. But until then, we're staying the course. All right.
Yeah, don't even worry about it. Just I look at it like right now, and I've said this a couple times. This is the best opportunity to meet your contracting officers or to talk to people. I've never had so much success talking to so many contractor officers and getting email responses like in my life. I mean, but you gotta be there to take advantage of it. If you're hopping around to different, industries or products or whatever the case is, you're not going to know who to talk to. So you probably need like 3 or 4 people that you have a relationship with. It'll change your government contracting life.
Yeah, no, it's interesting. So I was showing you guys. By the way, I'm still looking for some people to come up on stage here. Don't put in the www, put govconeric.com/411. This is not the time to be afraid. Come up on stage. By the way, Glenn from Boho. What's up, Glenn? How are you, sir? Philippines, Tony. See that? Glenn from Philippines. Just got registered in SAM. Received my KH code. What's next? And I'm in medical equipment. So let me show you guys real quick while we keep talking. Hold on. So somebody said, what's next? So let me pull up something for you guys real quick. Give me a second. Okay.
What is that? A thatch maker for solicitations?
I'm pulling something up real quick. I'm not.
What do I need to do to become a thatch maker? Is that a matchmaker? Is that supposed to say matchmaker?
Probably.
I don't.
All right. So let me come up here real quick. So someone said. So go back. So Robin says, we just registered in SAM, received my KH code. What's next? I'm in medical equipment. I'm going to show you guys this real quick. This is something that, again. All right. So this is what we'd use. It's called Action Plan, where we go through the items that you should be doing when you're getting registered after registration. So you've already determined whether you want to be a prime or a sub or consultant. Someone mentioned middleman. For me, Robin, I would be identifying the NAICS codes for medical equipment. We have a list of questions that we'd like to take our Apex accelerators. You want to do that whether you feel like it's worth it or not. You still want to do it because you want to go through the process so that when you're talking to people, you can say, I followed the steps, I went through the process. I still encourage people to set up a DUNS so that you can get access to Dun & Bradstreet for credit in the future. Set up your brand identity is what I recommend. After that, you've already created your SAM.gov. I would be working on my SBA profile, building my capability statement, and then building my pipeline of the top 25 federal customers. And then from there, expanding it on the people within those particular customers, like the offices, the small business specialists, what Judy Bratt calls players and layers. So the 5 people that you want to know for each one of those offices. That's just level 1. So we've got 4 more pages of this here, but these are the activities that I recommend that everyone should be doing right off the bat once you have done what Robin said she's done in the fast. So that's our action plan that we follow, and that's what allows us. That's what Tony's talking about, that the things that he's doing, staying the course, growing up the source of sauce, RFIs, doing the market research. So, for me, that's the steps that we encourage everybody to follow.
This is like, your course is definitely like, it definitely should be like a college degree.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We've helped so many people, and we're continuing to help people. And so for me, we've had so much success, right, over the last 5 years that, again, we continue to see how it works. And like Tony said, I don't think you guys heard Tony. Tony said he's never had so much success meeting and talking to government people. I personally said the same thing. I spoke to 3 federal people in the last couple of days. By the way, like, I called, they pick up the phone, like, hey,
they're like, hey, hello. You're like, hello?
Yes. Yes. So for everyone out here who's discouraged by, I think you have to turn off the news. You got to turn off the TV, because if you follow the steps and you start doing the activities that we talk about, regardless of see the only reason I want to say this too, real, when you talk about this executive order, Tony, the only reason I know about that executive order because someone asked me about it, not because I saw it on TV. I don't watch the news. I don't watch TV. I don't watch any TV, like none at all. So the only reason I even knew the answer to that question because someone else said that in a group call to me about this executive order. So I had to go look into it and see what it was about and figure this out. By the way, I do have a response on executive order as well. So, but listen, people, do not be distracted by the noise. I personally think, like Tony said, the fact that, like Marlon, hey, people are in the offices. They're making people come back to the office so they can't hide out no more. People got to answer the phone because they got to report to the Doge. What are they doing this week? Okay. People know that if they're not doing their job and not being responsible, you could call and complain. Tony just said there's this new red hotline that you could come and say, hey, I'm not getting help I need. And for those of you who just joined us, okay, Tony brought this up. This new hotline, where did it go? Okay, where did it go? That the government has put in place so that for people who are not getting, where's it at, Tony? Hold on, I gotta go find it again.
Yeah, red tape. Yeah, just, barriers. Any barriers you're having.
So for all of you who are just joining us right now, okay, who missed out what Tony said earlier, okay, I see you, Gloria. I'm putting you back up in a second. For all of you who missed out what Tony said earlier, okay, now there's a new office called under the Small Business Administration office, actually called the Red Tape Hotline, okay, that says, have your voice heard in the process. If you have concern with regulation, please reach out and let us know. Tony, you said you called them, and what happened?
Yeah, they answered. They're like, hello, talk to her. Her name is Antoinette. Talk to her for like 20 minutes. She's like, you can send us this stuff. And then if you click on there, it tells you everything to do, where to send it. It's like, basically, if there's red tape blocking you from getting something accomplished and it's like excessive, it's too much regulatory or too much money, let them know and, give a solution. I mean, for me, it's, this is what I've been dealing with for 3 years.
Right.
So,
right.
You can't think, hey, all this, like Eric said, you can't just be listening to the news. Like, take advantage of these opportunities right now. That's all I've been doing is taking advantage of these opportunities right now. I'm like NASCAR. I'm just drafting behind that pace car in the front.
So before when Tony was complaining that, hey, the government people are not responsive, they're not doing their job, nobody heard you. Now they've created an office to literally report people who are not following up on their job. So, and you got a person on the phone and they're listening to you and they're fielding your complaints. Yeah, so I think that's super, super valuable. I think it's super, super helpful. All right. Let's bring Gloria back up. All right, Gloria, we got you back up. I'm leaving Tony up here because you're on mute. Let me see if I can unmute you. All right. Okay, you mute yourself, so you have to unmute yourself. Okay, she lost her mic. All right. By the way, so look, that's good, Tony. I appreciate you, man. Hey, this is good stuff. You taught me something today.
That's what the network is all about. I mean, I definitely wouldn't even still be doing government contracting if it wasn't for your network. There's no way. Like I said, this is like a 4-year undergraduate course that you can get a master's and a PhD in.
Right.
it's just no way to know how to do this, without this network. There's no other better network out there, man. It's just...
Yeah. No, listen, you gotta. Mr. Beast said something, and I've been quoting him lately. Is that the way that he does all his stunts is he hires consultants, right? And so finding someone who's already been down a path that you're trying to go to, who's walked it, who has, like I said, knows the people to talk to. I mean, that's invaluable. And I think for all of you out here who are sitting out to the side trying to figure this out on your own as solopreneurs and silos, like you're struggling because you don't have anyone to talk to.
Yeah.
So the example someone in our group reached out to for their BPA was the government customer wanted them to list the price that they paid for the item on the delivery. Well, they were obviously marking it up because they were reselling it. And so they didn't know how to handle that situation. So I was able to tap into someone who I know who's done over 2,000 orders to help answer that question to see how they handle it. And so these are the things that being able to have people like that you can talk to, call, email, and they respond instantly, it's priceless. So let's bring Gloria up. I mean, Gloria, that's like, imagine, Gloria, if, like you said, you knew me when you're going through that situation, you probably be. Listen.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Hey, Gloria,
don't put that in my head. I know.
Gloria,
I know.
You know what's crazy about that is, hold on, I'm gonna show you something. I have to. Okay. I gotta show you this. Okay, I gotta show you this because I literally. Okay, so this is the presentation that I gave today. Okay, for APMP, so the Association of Project Management Professionals. And so when I got to the end of the presentation, okay, so I said, here are, everyone can see, all right, let me see if I can put slideshow if that helps. No, that makes it too big for me. All right, I'm just leave it here. So I put 6 actions you could start today, right? I just want you all to see that I live my truths. What did I put? You are the average of the 5 people you spend time with, right? We all know this stuff, but we don't do the stuff, right, Tony? Like you said, being in a network, it ain't, even if you know government contracting, if you don't have a network of people to call, it's a relationship industry. If you don't have someone to call when you get in trouble, someone to help you when you're confused, so, like Gloria said, she was successful getting contracts, but when that one opportunity came up, she needed someone that had that type of understanding level for what you're dealing with to be able to help you with that adversity.
Yeah.
So when I go through, Tony, and I start listing my people, okay, my buddy Paul from SDAC, okay, he right now has created 4 different divisions in his company, and he says he's maxed out capacity on every single division.
Ooh.
He has people trying to give him a $20, $30 million contracts. He cannot accept any more work in 4 divisions of his company. Okay,
that's a good problem to have.
It's a great problem he has. He's doing facility support services, civil construction, industrial heavy utilities, and rail services. Okay, you already know my guy. Okay, that's us. New Year's. Okay, he and I may need to zoom in for this one. All right, his company. Let me zoom in. Can you guys see it? Is it bigger, Tony? Okay, good. If you look at the bottom, it says Salex acquire Spalding Construction IT. Y'all see that?
Mm-hmm.
You see that third line? This acquisition was valued at how much?
It's too small for me. I need
okay. Can you see it, Tony? All right.
75 million?
There you go. 75 million.
I really had to get in there. Sorry.
Yeah,
okay, that's all right.
These companies, I'm telling you, the buy-in companies, and
all right. 75 million. And then, hold on, wait, Gloria. And then on their site, hold on, I want you to show. Okay, on this to the right-hand side, they just won a 10-year contract, right? GSA. You see the potential value of the contract? It was in December 2024. It is small. I'll zoom it in for you guys. Here. I'll make it big just so y'all can see it. Let me see if how do I do this? Can you see it now?
I'm not going to be able to see it anyway.
Hold on. How about that?
Oh, I can see that.
What does that say?
I can't see that. Don't put me on the spot. Go, Tony, you got it.
Okay, so I'm gonna stop sharing now, just because I'm just all I'm saying is when these are the people in your friend circle, Tony, you ain't never seen that before, have you? Gloria, have you ever seen anything like that? Of course. This is what I'm saying.
Gee.
So listen, and I'm gonna tell you how good these people are. He introduced me to the people that financed the $75 million acquisition that he did. So I know the people, I know the guy who did it, I know the bankers, I know how they put the deal together. I got their cell phone
numbers.
Let me get this
ex-wife back on the phone. Let me get this ex-wife.
Gloria, can we get the ex-wife back on the phone? Gloria.
It's too late. I wish it was too late. She literally closed it already.
Gloria, it's not too late. Gloria, listen.
It ain't too late.
Gloria, listen to me.
You can always revive that name.
Gloria, that might be better for us because we don't have to buy it for any money.
You know what I thought of?
She closed it.
She did. So I was gonna. I don't know if it's legal, but
Gloria, don't worry about it. Gloria, listen. Let's talk to some professional people about what we could do.
Okay.
So I have a student of mine that his brother literally bought a company that was making bomb assembly components. They didn't know that when they bought it. They were in bankruptcy. They bought them out of bankruptcy. Okay. And so what they did was, and this is some rich people stuff. Again, I'm learning all this stuff. They teaching me. Tony, they actually hired a economist. And I'm like, I didn't even know that was a real job. Like, and it was like, yeah, we hired an economist.
What do they do?
So the economist essentially
studies the economy.
It does the economy. That's see, Gloria, you at our level, so that's that's what we think like study economy. So the economist basically, what they did, Gloria, was it identified businesses, and so he was looking at companies that did at least 20 million a year,
right,
or greater, but that had done federal contracts and that were now in bankruptcy. So then he was able to use that to say, okay, they've got 20 million a year contracts. They're now in bankruptcy. So then he looks at what were the causes for being in bankruptcy to see how they could pull it out to now get that value back out of the company.
That's good.
Boom.
So Eric, so the email I sent you, that's what my boy does.
I got. That's what your boy does. Okay.
That's what he does.
All right. Cool. So Gloria. So what they did, they got this company, bought out of bankruptcy. What they did was they then took the company, divided up into 3 pieces. The bankrupt piece, they carved that out. Ooh. They kept the other 2 pieces. Ooh. And once they now revived them, they had warehouses, they had land, they had property, they had all the employees, they had all the materials that they bought for like nothing, like cheap. Well, okay, let me not say nothing. They bought it for like $5 million, let's say, okay, but it was like $25 million worth of stuff or $30 million worth of stuff. But they had the lawyer came in on a private jet, so he cost a fortune. He literally flew in a private jet. They were some small rural town, but because the guy told me this, because I was like, I want to do it. He's like, well, Eric, we kind of have to have some money, like so cool. But at the end of the day, Gloria, at the end of the day, what happened was he literally opened the business back up. Once they took out of bankruptcy, the government, once they found out the company was back operational, they start calling and sending them orders. They never, Tony, learn how to do government contracting. So when he signed up for my course, Gloria, I'm like, why did you buy a course? You guys do 20 million a year. He goes, because we never learned how to do contracts. He says they just gave them to us. So we never went through the process to actually having to win a contract. He's
you would be surprised how many people I talk to. They don't, they work for these companies, but they don't know as much as our network.
Yeah,
if they had to start from scratch,
they couldn't do it. So
okay, so it might not be too late.
No, it's Gloria. It ain't too late. Gloria,
Okay.
we might have just worked out a great situation for us because
It's fine.
now it's better than when we had to buy it. So now we got to figure out we have to figure out how to legally take it over.
Right.
That's a different problem to solve for.
But I also want to say for the people that want to buy a business but don't really have the capital to buy a business,
doesn't matter.
Right. Because remember, it's seller's finance. So that's what I was going to work out with the lady.
Listen.
So I was going to, because it was I don't have multi-millions to like give right now. So I was going to work out, right? I was going to work for or give her a percentage of 60-40 until I paid her X amount that I was going to, that she was going to agree on for X amount of years. And that's the way I was going to do it.
Sure.
Yeah, no, she said no.
Gloria, she said no to you.
Okay.
That's what you keep forgetting.
Well,
people that are billionaires don't accept no.
Ooh, okay. Well, we're becoming billionaires now.
Well, oh no, this is the next subject I want to teach is about doing acquisitions. But I need to get people to understand, and because like a couple people in the chat asked me, how do you do this, right? So for me, the first thing is, hello, you got to get in the game. You can't sit on the sideline and have the stories that the three of us have. You got to get it. Gloria didn't say, I was sitting back and just got registered and then this happened. No, she was doing contracts. She was a subcontractor.
And I just started subcontract. I mean, I'm still bidding.
See,
I'm still out there.
But you're in the game. So you have to get in the arena. So everyone watching, right? First of all, I'm going to say this. If you're not in Federal Help Center, you need to get in Federal Help Center. It's free to join. By the way, everything that I'm doing, where I'm going to go at, it's already in there. So we've got all that training. But more the point is, if you're not involved and you're not doing activities, then you can't have the lucky opportunities happen for you or to you because you're sitting on a sideline watching.
You're and you have to be able to recognize them too. Don't think that it's going to be black and white. Sometimes you have to.
No,
you got to make your own opportunities sometimes.
Have you guys ever read Richest Man in Babylon? You got to read that book. Tony,
what is it?
See? Richest Man in Babylon.
Oh, sounds good.
It was on your bookshelf, so I was like, I probably read like 5 books off your bookshelf back when you had your other spot.
Yeah.
So yeah, I have all those books that were on your shelf. I think I read most of them.
That's why all this stuff for me it's up here. It's all mindset. It's all mindset.
I agree.
You know. So, but no, this is good. I like I said, I wanted to share that because.
Wait, so what's my next step?
Oh, your next step, Gloria? We need to talk.
Okay.
We need to. So I have someone that I can refer you to. That let's talk to him. I actually have 2 people in mind. By the way, and I do want to say this before I forget my train of thought. What Gloria mentioned, we did last year? Last year or the year before that, I did an event in Wilmington, North Carolina with a bank. And they said that the best way for minorities to start doing government contracting is by business acquisition. That's what they said. I never forgot that. I swear to you, Tony, I've been begging Brandon to find the video so we could post it. But we literally, they said that's the best way for us to start is through acquisition.
Yeah, there's this book I read, Buy Then Build.
Yeah, I read Buy Then Build. Build to sell, buy then build. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, I would never start a business from the ground up again. I would just buy one.
I agree with you. But this bank does the acquisition. So for them to say that, you know what I mean? Like we now know the people that actually can do it, that can help us put the deals together. And also structure it and know what to look for and help us through the approval. So I just want to say that. All right. I see Anthony's down in the chat. Tony, I'm gonna put you down for now. Give me a second. Hold on. I'm gonna bring Anthony up. Oh, and then Gloria. Anthony, 1 second. Let me. So Gloria, let's do this. Message me in Federal Help Center. Just DM in Federal Help Center. I do check my messages there. That's the only place I
Like
check
that website?
Yeah, have you been there?
Okay. Where I just went? Eric, what was it? Gov?
No. You went. Hold on. Here. So Federal Help Center here. This is our community platform we use. So in here, you can go in and chat, and you can just DM me in the chat.
Okay, got it. Thank you so
yeah,
much.
And so because there's so many platforms out here, this is the only one that I really could check my messages for everyone out here. And though for those of you guys who are not familiar with this platform, so what Tony's talking about, we have events, we have webinars literally tomorrow at 5, tomorrow at 6, Friday at 1. We got webinars happening all the time for free for people that are interested in doing government contracts. And then we have boot camps, we have challenges that are low cost that you can get involved with as well. So my coaches are teaching inside of there. There's 4,000 members in there, and again, we got different groups that you could be a part of as well. So that's where I personally post all of my events where I'm going to be at, just because it's just an easier play. Because when I post it on a lot of other places, I don't really know the people like that. So
I don't really know y'all like that.
I'm just saying, like, you don't really want to post publicly to go to a private, you know what I'm saying? Break somebody's house type of stuff. So that's just me. Maybe y'all, that new generation might be with that. I'm still the older generation.
I'm still private, so I understand.
So I just not something I do. So. All right. But yeah, so that's what I would say. Let's do that.
Okay. Thank you so much.
No problem. Thank you for coming up. Thank you for sharing your story.
Of
that
course.
Was great. Classic.
Thank you.
Cool.
Bye.
All right. See you. Bye. Anthony.
Yes. Can you hear me?
I can. How are you today?
All right. Thank you for having all of your shows. I've been struggling with trying to get the boots on the ground to follow your steps, because I've been joining with folks. I guess I've been joining with the wrong people, and it's just been going in the clouds, and we haven't been doing anything. I'm in SAM. I'm NCDOT. I'm ACDBE, DBE, and all these certifications, and I'm not getting anything.
Well, and it's interesting. It's funny you said that. So I'm going to show you something. You're going to laugh when I show you this. So we do we do an assessment with people, right? That are like to tell you kind of where you're making mistakes at. And so it's funny. I want to show you something, because everything that you're saying, right? So this is you have people. I literally put people in 4 buckets. Register and stamp, but not sure what industry to pick. Okay. Register and stamp, but not winning. I have everything, all the search, but I need guidance, frustrated, losing hope, need encouragement to keep going, work as a solopreneur, so I must do everything. Does that sound like you, Anthony?
Yes, that's me.
Hey, I've been doing this.
I mean, we didn't plan this, but I guess
Anthony, you don't have to plan it, brother. I've been doing this so long.
I know you have.
And the thing is, everyone, I'm not necessarily the best at marketing.
Right.
I mind it. Right. There's a lot of people out there that are way better at marketing than me. Okay. So then people go and they give them money and they go to their things, and then they're like, go get this, go get this, go get that. And they're still stuck.
Yes.
And then they come to me, and someone said, Eric, I paid this guy $10,000 and I didn't get anything. I go, well, what do you want me to do? You paid $10,000. You didn't come to me with $10,000.
Right.
Like, we have a track record. And, you see Collins on our boot camp starts Friday. So we're doing boot camps. We're doing challenges. We're doing the Friday's a proposal boot camp that we're starting. We did a business building boot camp. We're doing a first partner challenge, how to find partners.
Okay.
So, we're constantly doing that. But, I mean, I already knew the situation that you're going through. without you even come up here and saying it, because that's where most people find themselves. And the reason that you're in that situation is because, again, one of the people that, and it's not your fault, right? Because, like I said, people are really good at marketing. One of my friends told me that, I said, well, why did you hire this guy? And he had never done contracts before. Like, that just baffles. Like, I know it seems so like trivial after the fact, right? Like after the fact, you go, dang, that was true. That didn't make sense.
Yes.
But we get excited. We want to get started. It sounds good. And so, that's what happens to us. Unfortunately.
So maybe I need to take you and Tony out for lunch. And then...
No, not me, Eric. Hey, listen, Anthony, this is funny because I've been following Eric for, I don't know, I lost track time now. But a few years back, one of the things Eric teaches you is don't worry about them certifications.
Okay, right.
So I remember I was watching a video or reading something, and Eric was talking about certifications, and then there was another video where he was like, you don't need certifications. And this was before I even met him. I was like, well, which one is it? I was like, one video you're saying you don't need certifications, and then the next video you're saying you get certifications. Eric made a whole video about what I said about not needing certifications, but he was saying that learn your craft first before you go out here with certifications. Because you just told us all these certifications you got, and you didn't tell us what you do.
Right. And Construction Connect, they want me to get another certification, and I told them I'm not getting no more certifications. I'm not doing construction on top of the other certifications. I even got my my diploma for construction management, and I was like, and I can't. Yeah, but it was free though. That was free.
No,
so, I mean,
hey, Tony, it wasn't free because it took up your time.
Yeah, exactly. All that time, all that time, and
time.
Like I don't have any certifications, nothing.
So I'm gonna say this for everybody listening. There's 49 people watching right now, okay? And I thought about this way to describe it for both Tonys. So now I figured it out, right? A certification to me is like you're trying to put gas to start the fire. Gas does not start fires.
Correct.
Your certification is the gas.
Right.
You don't have a fire to put gas on. So when people do this, not just you, everybody listening to this, okay? You're trying to start a fire with gas. You could go pour gas all over your house, nothing will light up. You can put your gas all over yourself, nothing will light up. You have to have a fire, Tony, first to put the gas on to get the fuel to accelerate it. That's what the certification is. And
most of those,
Right. But guess what? Most of us didn't have a fire to begin with. And so we're trying to say, hey, this gas is not starting a fire. This gas is not starting a fire. I got more gas. I got alcohol now. You got all of these things, right? You got charcoal. Hey, you and I got everything. You got wood sticks. You're like, man, I got all this stuff. Yes, those things work amazing when you have a fire.
Yes.
I help you build a fire. And then, right, then all the other stuff that we already know, charcoal, gas, like all the other stuff, you're like, oh, I already know all that. That's easy to go get that. But how do you start the fire? And that's what we do, right? And so you're out here alone trying to figure out how to start a fire. You ain't no outdoorsman. You don't know how to take the sticks and rub them together. And, so you need someone to help you show you how to rub the sticks together. But going back to Tony, the other Tony's point is we don't even know what you do. And that's where people get caught up with, right?
Okay.
Is that I can't tell by your name. I can't tell by your title. I didn't see it in the chat. I don't think anybody here knows what you do. So, but I'm listening. Go ahead. Tell us what you do.
I didn't know whether to focus on my trade or to focus on doing construction.
Hold on.
My trade is IT.
Hold on. Anthony, hold on. Wait. Hold on. Put you back on the screen. Hold on. I got to put you back on the screen over here.
Drop them in that box.
Wait. Hold on. Is that?
Yes, I'm signed up in SAM. Yeah, I'm signed up.
But wait. But read it. What does it say?
Registered in SAM, but not sure. Yeah, that's not sure.
What industry to pick? Construction, consultant, IT.
Yes.
Is that you?
That's my my logo in SAM.
I understand. You see, Anthony, this happens so often that I was able to write this out. What you guys gonna tell me before y'all get up here? We don't have to plan it out.
Right.
Because unfortunately, what happens is so many people are in your situation that you are one of 1,000 people. You're not, 1 out of 10. You're probably 1 out of 10,000. So you're the norm. You're not the exception. You're the norm. So you're the rule. And that's why when we talk to people, right? And when I pull it up here on the action plan, which I will pull it back up on the screen for everybody. Okay. When I pull up this action plan, the first thing on there, it says, what's number 1? Determine whether you want to be a prime or a sub or a consultant, right? Pick your NAICS code for the industry that you're going to choose. Now, you can get it. Listen, just get in Federal Help Center. We'll get you the action plan. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
What happens is we do something called the First Partner Challenge. We did it a couple times last year. And the First Partner Challenge, what we go over is it doesn't matter where you start, Tony. It doesn't matter. Like Anthony, I'm going to call you Anthony. I'm going to say Tony to the other Tony that way because we got 2 of y'all on the screen. So Anthony, it doesn't matter where you start at because you got to make some traction. So until you make, if you pick IT, that's fine. If you pick construction, that's fine. But you got to pick something where you can build some traction, and then you can always expand later on after you build traction. But the indecision is where that's the graveyard where people go to die. And I can tell you, I have a lot of students that have died in that graveyard of indecision, which is crazy because it's like, just pick. Just pick. Well, let me give you an example why I say 1. Okay. So when you identify your NAICS code, 2 or 3, right? And you identify your top 25 customers. Okay, let me switch the screen so you can see it this way. All right, so let me just give you an example of why everybody listening to this, why we say pick one industry. Tony, the other Tony says stick the course. We talk about, again, being focused, right? Because, Anthony, if you pick 2 NAICS codes in construction or 2 NAICS codes in IT, right? And then you identify 25 customers for those 2 codes, right? And then you identify 25 customers. Within those 25 offices, you want to identify, I keep getting my word. You want to identify 5 of the decision makers for 25 customers for those NAICS codes. Now, if you have to do that for 2 industries, you're talking about 500 to 700 people. How can you possibly keep up with that?
You can't.
This is what people don't understand. You've never met a multi-million-dollar government contracting company say it's not about relationships. Everyone said about relationships. How are you going to manage relationships with 500 people?
Right.
Most people start off with 1 agency, 1 office. We do 80% of our work with 1 office.
That's not, yeah.
And then I want people to remember me when I go to conferences for that as well.
No.
Yeah, you think about it like you think about it with your house. Like, you got your toilet's leaking. Do you call the guy that says, yeah, I do everything. I do electrical, I do plumbing, I do roofing. Do you call him or do you call the plumber?
Yeah.
You gotta think about that with the government
Right.
KOs. If you say, oh, I do everything, or you say I do IT, I do construction, they're gonna be like, no, you don't. Nobody
They're
does.
gonna say you don't. Nobody does that.
Nobody's, think about professional athletes. It's when you sit there and think about it overall, life is everything is niched down. Like, think about your vehicle. You don't use a sedan to go pick up wood from Home Depot.
No.
You use a truck. So why would you hire somebody who drives a sedan to go pick up wood? If you could say, well, yeah, I pick up wood with my truck and I do Uber with my sedan and I go off-road with my sedan, like, they're gonna be like, all right, well, go have fun. It's the same thing with picking the industry.
Yeah, we just tell people.
And I made it this January to no longer intake the negative people who say, just go out and govern contract, just go out and do it. And then, like, go out and do what? I mean, what am I supposed to do? They said, yeah, just go and do the contracting. And then I'm like, okay, what am I going to be doing? They just said, so it's like you
need a plan.
I'm cutting a lot of that people out.
You should cut those. You need a plan. You got to have a plan to follow. We all follow a plan. We don't just go do arbitrary things. I mean, you don't know. I don't know anyone that grows a business of 10, 15, $20 million without a strategy.
Right.
Doing anything is not a strategy. We have a strategy. That's why, again, I'm able to pull things up on the screen because, I mean, these are materials that we regularly use that we share with people all the time. So that action plan, I've been giving an action plan out since 2022. So we might even, or that might be 2021. But again, we have a strategy we follow, and that's what leads to a lot of our student success. So whereas what's interesting is that I've seen other people interview my students on their shows as if they taught them, but they're only just featuring their success. They didn't say they'd actually learn from them.
Wow. Okay.
And so you're hearing someone's success and you're assuming that this person, it correlates to that person having taught them, but that's not what was said in the show. And so I just find that interesting because at the end of the day, we should all be asking the questions like, okay, how did you get to where you got to, and where did you learn it from? That should be the questions that should be asked.
Right.
So, but again, I don't want to belittle the point, but yes, I definitely encourage you I hope this is helpful about learning the certifications, pick an industry, understand why it's important just to pick one space, right? And then just go all in that space. No matter what you do, it's all going to be hard. Alex Hormozy said something. It's like starting a restaurant is hard, starting an IT business is hard, right? But they're both hard. So start something that has the highest potential chance of return on your investment. Right. That's all. So the reason why a lot of people choose between IT and construction is because, and I don't blame them. I like construction. I don't like the business of construction, but I do love the fact that there's unlimited bids and opportunities in construction. So I love that. So that's why I like it, because unlike Tony, you don't have to go 10 months and wait for nothing, because there's so much construction everywhere all the time.
Yes.
Yeah, but Anthony, it still wasn't enough to convince you to pick it. So don't cheerlead me. Hey, don't be cheerleading me, Anthony. It wasn't enough for you to pick it. I mean, so
okay,
I'm just saying, okay, you understand? Like, so for me, that's why I personally like it. But
right. Okay.
you know, I just say that because I can guarantee someone that I don't care what city, what state you're in, there's a construction bid happening now, like today. Every city, every state, every municipality, all over the world, there's construction happening. So, I can pretty much say with complete confidence that there's going to be opportunities for you. I can't say that for every industry. Um, so I just want to kind of like let people know why we say the things we say, not just because we're picking on you and saying we're limiting you and you're not smart enough or anything like that. It's a lot of work to be very good at something. And again, going back to what my podcast guests say, strive for excellence. It's hard to strive for excellence in four things. It just is. I'm going to share this other book since I got some people on the call. By the way, I see Marley Marr in this thing. Let me get Marley Marr. Let me get you up here.
So should I to get started, start with the Federal Help Desk or team up with Maria?
So Federal Help Center, you should definitely go inside Federal Help Center. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, start there. In fact, Colin said that tomorrow he's teaching a webinar on how to pick a lane based on your expertise.
Okay, Colin.
So but no, just go to Federal Help Center.
Oh, they're going to have Federal Help Center. Okay.
You ain't got to worry about Federal Help Center.
Okay. Because I get the emails, so I'm getting.
You get the emails, but you haven't joined it. Okay. And it's free. But you pay to take courses to get certifications. And hey,
the bricks are heavy. The bricks are heavy.
Hey man, listen, man. I'm on your side, brother. I want to see you succeed. I love these. I like about these. I get to go back to them later, and we could all laugh about it.
Yes.
So I like that. I like to go
Let's
back
give
later.
6 months or 3 months, and that's all.
Listen, hey, what's funny? And again, going back to, I'm with you. Going back to my presentation I gave today. Literally, this guy right here, John Bowen, when I met him riding bicycles, he said the same thing. He said, Eric, I said, look, man, I give all this information for free. Most people don't do anything with it. And he was like, man, promise you, I'm going to do something with information. I said, all right, bro. Well, listen, come back to me in 6 months. Let me see what you did.
Okay.
And he did. He came back and he put on here, I met Eric in July 2017 at a bike ride.
Wow.
He told me after watching a few of his videos, I started maintenance services 360, hub zone, minority owned, sell various products, and hopefully in the near future, provide services to government. It's been a lot of learning process, yet it is a process, accept and enjoy it so far. And no, I haven't won a contract yet. Okay. All right. Now that's him. 2019, he did 60K in sales.
Wow.
2018, he won his first contract.
Okay.
2019, he did 60K a month in sales. 2023, he hit 3 million. I saw him last month. He did 2.6 last year.
Wow.
By the way, something a lot of people don't know, he also is a convicted felon. He's got a felony.
Okay.
So
anybody can do it.
Thank you, Anthony.
Anybody.
I just want to say you finished my sentence for me.
Anybody. Yes. Okay.
But you know what it is? It's the people that have that grit, that have that hunger. That's the people that make it.
Yes.
It's the people that have the desire. It's not the intellect.
No.
Intellect is not you guys' problem.
Okay.
Intellect is not your problem. That's not it. Go ahead, Tony. You want to say something?
The first thing you got to do is you got to pick a field, and you can't ask somebody else what the field is going to be. You got to ask yourself. And then you gotta be motivated. Like there's like a couple things that motivate me. Cause I don't know if you heard, like I went 10 months without a contract. Most people would, drop out after that or switch industries and all that. But one person told me that I would never make it, that they tried. It's not going to happen. They'll never make it. So that's kind of like that that Michael Jordan or Tom Brady switch that went off in my head, and I'm like, nah, that's if I'm not doing it for myself, I'll definitely do that to prove them wrong. And then you just have to be determined. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be quick. There's been times I wanted to quit and switch and all that, but that's why you got to surround yourself by good people or be by yourself. It's better to be by yourself without the negative energy than to be around people with negative energy.
Right, absolutely.
Well, that's what I've been doing since January, cutting out that negative. It's been helping. So now that I need to narrow down to 2 to the 1, as Eric says, and then choose from those 2 to make it 1, and then take it going forward. And people can talk all they want to talk, like you say, Tony, and say, oh, I've done it before. It's not going to work, and you're not going to do it.
I hate that.
I know.
Hate that.
That's like crabs in a bucket.
I hate that, man. You don't even understand how bad I hate that, man. It's like,
that happened. I mean, that was, to me, that hit me, and I was like, I started being like, yeah, maybe that person is right, and I was like, nah, man, I ain't. But when you surround yourself by the right people, you always hear, okay, how do we get it done? Not that we can't do it.
Right.
How do we get it done? Okay, let's do it. You always hear that, and it's so recharging and refreshing.
Anthony, did you not see the when I put your circle of 5? Did you see my people? Did you see their stuff? Did you see it?
Yeah. Yeah.
So Anthony, let me ask you this.
Yes.
If my average, the 5 people I spend my time with, if those were your people, what would you think about government contracts?
Oof.
If your friends were doing 90 million, 100 million, 200 million, what would be your take then? If somebody else told you that this does not real, or this doesn't exist, or it doesn't, if you saw your friend, if you saw your friend win the kind of contract that I just showed you, if you saw your friend win this, Anthony, what would you think?
I'll be like, I gotta kick that negative person to the curb. And be like,
you won't. No, you tell them to go F themselves.
Right.
Or jump off a building is what you would say. You wouldn't say kick them to the curb. You say, listen, dude, I'm about to throw you off this building because you
with no bungee cord.
No bungee cord, because you sound crazy right now.
Right.
Like, listen, I could call these people I could put them on a speakerphone right now and be like, hey, this guy says government contract. Be like, I just told you my friend cannot take any more work.
And I even show people the movie. What's that movie?
But Anthony, you don't need to show nobody the movie but yourself.
I know myself, but myself. Forget about showing them.
Why are you trying to convince other people?
Yeah, forget about it. Yeah, just do it.
Do it yourself.
Jump
in a federal help center. Go meet Colin. Come meet our people, and figure out, like you said, like, what is it like? Just see other people doing it. Right. Tony will be there. Just come see other people doing this stuff, and then you'll be like, "Oh man, what have I been doing my whole life?" So,
Got it.
All right.
Thank you both.
All right, you the man, Tony. I appreciate you for coming up. You're a brave guy.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, who's next? Y'all can't be afraid.
I came up here, so you can't be afraid.
That's right. Exactly. Anthony came up here. You can't. We have to sort this out, right? If you're afraid now to come up here to get your questions answered, how you expect that you're going to talk to a government person about a solution and try to win $1 million contract? Lori Sales came on my boot camp last week, and she said the same thing. She goes, wait, you can't even show your face on Zoom, and you sit here saying you want to be a multi-millionaire and get government contracts for millions, and you can't even show up on Zoom?
That happens to me all the time. Like, I have these Zoom meetings, and I'm usually the only person that's showing my face, but
exactly.
I'm used to it. That's how we do.
Nah, exactly. So, Jalen. Uh-oh. I see you. Is your mic working? Not yet.
Can you guys hear me?
Okay, we can hear you now. Yep. Jalen, we hear you now.
Hello?
Hey, we can hear you. Yep.
I guess he can't hear
us.
He can't hear us, but we can hear you.
Yeah, I can't hear you guys on the go.
I hope you're not in IT.
He is in IT.
I can hear the stream, but I can't hear the my bad.
He is in IT, Tony. He's a 20-year-old college student. He started his Govcon business this month. He's planning to find contracts in IT because of his personal search.
All right, well, let's get there.
No. I mean, I already know what to do for Jalen. I already know where he needs to go. I got an answer for him already. Yeah, my man said 40 people here. Y'all hit the like button real quick.
I can hear now.
You can hear us, Jalen?
Yeah.
All right, good stuff. All right, so Jalen, are you the same Jalen Mitchell?
Yes, I'm the same Jalen Mitchell from the chat.
I assume that. I figured Mitch Global and then Jalen.
Yeah.
You know? So talk to me, man. Listen, by the way, congratulations for being 20 years old and being interested in a space. I love that for you.
Yeah. So I basically got into this whole space from YouTube. So I've seen your videos, I've seen Kizzy Parks, I've seen all those kinds of videos, and even War Dogs, like you guys said, that introduced me.
Yeah.
So I've been researching and all that behind government contracts.
Nice.
And before I created Mitch Global at all, so before that even was a thing, I did work for another firm or business that project managed a whole bunch of federal contracts.
Okay.
So that's where I learned it. And my first ever bid I put out, I won. So I was like, wow, I could really do this myself. And I wanted to learn more about this space and what I could do in this and how I could make money.
I love it. You know, it's interesting. I spoke at Blacks in Technology event. Have you heard of Blacks in Technology?
No, I haven't.
They're called it's basically a bunch of young people like yourself that are all do tech stuff, and they'll have all these different like tech certs like CompTIA and all those different things. And I go, you guys are so smart. Why are y'all not going after contracts? That's what I said. I'm so confused.
I have the Security Plus and the Network Plus.
See, I already know you have this. Like, I know my people have this stuff. I know my people have this stuff. I'm like, y'all are so smart, but so dumb but it's not your fault. I was like, nobody's teaching you how to go up the contracts. So I got a friend of mine that I'd love to introduce you to. His name is Andre. Where are you located, Jalen?
I'm in Baltimore.
Oh, bet. So actually, I'm going to be down. I told you, I'm going to be in Virginia the 24th, 25th, 26th, around those time. So the guy I want to introduce you to, we're going to do an event at his house, at his apartment. We're going to do it at the rooftop. Okay. And then I want you to meet him because he's doing IT contracts and he's doing a lot of top secret stuff.
Okay. So you need the security clearance for that.
You need security clearance, but he's a good person to meet, to know, to talk through it. And I've got like 3 more people that are on the government side that are also in that space that I would love to introduce you to as well, that can essentially help you, navigate through that field. So
that'd be perfect.
I already got your people, man. I got your tribe already, man, on that stuff. Because it's just, it's far few in between. There's not a lot of people doing these kind of things. So that's why I heard the best quote, and I said it today in my speech, was the guy said, people go to Harvard not because they're 5 times a degree, but because the network of Harvard. You're going to have 25 years of hooking each other up with opportunities and money and deals and access. That is why you go to Harvard. That's the same thing why you come to us, because we're going to hook you up with people that are actually doing this stuff. Yeah. We're going to let you meet real people so that your circle of your 5 people, your network will be 5 people that do government contracts. And so you can't fail like that. You can't.
Yeah.
You can't. Like, you go meet my guy Andre, and he's got great energy. He's gonna love it. In fact, the reason why I know it's gonna work is because we had another guy that was working with Andre that was about your same age, that he worked underneath him, and then again he, after learning, he started, okay, I could do some other my stuff on my own. It's like perfect. We're not trying to keep nobody above you is trying to keep you down. Nobody's gonna say, look, nah, Jalen, you can't go bid your own stuff. No, listen, man. We're here to help you, support you, and vice versa, because right, that's what people do that are successful. So if anyone is not doing that for you, they're not really doing what they say they do. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? If they ain't doing that, they not really doing what they say.
Absolutely.
I'm saying that. So so again, I'll tell you the same thing real quick. Just make sure, because I'm gonna post it inside of Federal Help Center, on our events page. So just make sure that you're there. Colin will know about it, and so it will be on there. Here, I'll show you real quick. So to be here inside of our private community and the event side, and again, it's just free to go and join. But I'll post it in there because, like I said, I won't be publicly posting about that kind of stuff. So
okay, so I have to join the
yeah, just join Federal Help Center, and then in there, you'll see Colin, and he'll be, Colin always comes to my stuff. Perfect. And then you can also DM me in there as well. That's the only place where I really can afford to check all my messages, just because I get bombarded from all these places.
Yeah.
So man, no, that's good stuff. I love it, brother. I mean, that's, I mean, that's the best thing I could do for you immediately.
I appreciate it.
All right. Good stuff, man. All right. Oh, look at this. Piggybacking off of Jalen. Percy Payne, 24 years, started my government contracting firm, Great Creek. I want to thank Yvette and Brandon already. Boom. So, no, listen, I love to see young people in here. This is exciting for me. I love to see young people in here. So this is good. We get you in here learning at 20, bro. Tony, man, by the time that kid get 25 years old, shoot. Hey,
he ain't gonna want to talk to us no more, man.
I want to learn. I want to get my 8A.
Perfect. That's what you want. We want that for you.
I'm a native-owned business as well, so
yeah. All right. Well, no, listen, we'll definitely we'll connect you with some of those people, and then we'll take it from there. All right. Thank you, man. I appreciate you for being brave coming up here. I don't know what's everybody else out here, but that's how. This is how. By the way, this is how you get hooked up. You can't get hooked up sitting in the crowd. Like I can't do nothing for you sitting in the crowd. I can't. I can't. There's nothing I can do for you sitting in the crowd because I don't know you and you don't know me, and I just see names on the screen. I can't really identify you. Everybody's gonna remember Jalen. I remember Jalen. So I just can't do stuff for everybody else sitting out there. So
closed mouths don't get fed, right?
That's all. So again, like Lori Sales said, if you want to do something, come up here. But I tell you what, it is 9:00. I didn't plan on being on here just that long. I was gonna,
9:00 if you
well, I'm on a Central Time right now.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah. But I will be doing another live tomorrow. So we'll come back tomorrow around the same time, and we'll do this all over again. So, all right. Thanks everyone. Good. Have a good night. Jalen, I appreciate you, brother. Be good. Tony, always a pleasure, my man.
All right, man.
Thanks, guys. I'll see you later.
All right.
All right. Bye.